What is the difference between IIM Bangalore and any other B school? Well, just like the city it is based in, they believe in one simple funda: work hard and play hard. That's right, which is why sports and L-square parties are as much a part of the tradition here as is the grueling management curriculum. Hi, I'm Ankit Vengurlekar, and today we are coming to you from the Bangalore campus of IIM this week on Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 2. So if you talk to any IIM Bangalore student, they insist that with their extracurricular activities, they have some of the most all-round and street-smart B-schoolers. The institute has a diverse student mix and the largest student exchange program amongst all B schools. Though bang in the middle of exams, the line presence on campus definitely created a buzz, especially since the college has a point to prove. IIM Bangalore has everything to gain from Season 2 of Lime on campus. Considering last year they finished at the last position after semi-finals, they have to redeem their lost glory. This year, a brand new branding and marketing challenge awaits them. They have to come up with solutions, how to brand and how to market a new payments method for Axis Bank. Axis Bank has introduced a payment scheme called IMT, or Instant Money Transfer, that leverages the mobile phone penetration in India. However, unlike mobile and online banking, it doesn't do away with banking intermediates like branches and ATMs. So, if A wants to transfer money to B, he pre-arranges a 4-digit PIN with him and then visits a branch or ATM to initiate an IMT. He informs the bank of B's mobile number, the PIN and the amount to be transferred. On verifying that funds are available, the bank then sends another PIN to B via SMS. On entering all 4 pieces of information correctly at a branch or ATM, that is, the mobile number, the 2 PIN numbers, and the exact amount to be transferred, B gets the cash immediately.
The case we have provided to you is to explore the mobile telephone channel as an effective and cost-effective way of remitting money across the length and breadth of the country, as well as cross-border. Mobile telephones are going to be an integral part of the payments infrastructure as we look into the future, and is of strategic importance to us. We therefore look forward to your inputs in terms of how to make this channel a very important one for Axis Bank and a very successful one too.
So the challenge for IIM Bangalore is to create the IMT brand, position it in the payment space to create maximum value for stakeholders, identify challenges, and arrive at solutions to deliver this product to customers. The challenge that IIM Bangalore faces is a tough one, especially because students do not have an industry precedent to take any sort of cues from. Let's take a look at the 2 teams that will be tackling this challenge. The girls in Team Lazarus were roomies in their first year and are now close friends and teammates in their second year.
It's not just marketing alone, because suppose you want to come up with a pricing framework, you have to look at the financials, and if you want to come up with an offering, you have to look at the regulatory framework and see if the government actually allows you to provide that service.
The second team from Bangalore is also an all-seniors team, and they've planned out their presentation meticulously, even down to their team name.
Our team's name is POD, and it has 2 meanings. First is something called points of differentiation, and other is called payable on death, which is a terminology that says that certain things are payable from bank accounts only after you die. So based on the case that we had, we thought this would be a great name for us. The research is quite quantifiable, it's quite justifiable, and we are quite confident.
So great to have the 2 teams here with us, Team POD and Team Lazarus. For the very serious and business-like presentation, we thought we'd have a little fun. I have a small spelling bee challenge for you guys. I'm going to throw out words. You have to come up with spellings. Alright, girls, your first word is tuition.
T-U-T-I-O-N.
You guys lost it there, right there. Right, so the next word is for Team POD, and your word is itinerary.
ITINEARY.
Okay guys, sorry, POD, you guys just lost it. Team Lazarus, are you ready? The word for you is Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit.
Which is wrong. Okay, Team Pod, the word is blitzkrieg.
BLITZKREIG. Blitzkrieg.
That is wrong. Okay. I'll toss one last word at you. Whichever team thinks they know the right spelling, just put your hands up. And the word is embarrassment. Team Lazarus.
EMBARRASSMENT.
That is absolutely correct. Team Lazarus, congratulations. Well tried, Team POD. Right, so it's time for a quick break on Lime. Don't go anywhere because the other side of the break, Team Lazarus goes in first into the presentation arena.
The deciding factor will be the match between Axis Bank's current position and the strategy and the services that we've recommended to them.
So Lime is at IIM Bangalore this week and the students here are facing a challenge from Axis Bank. Let's take a look at the judges for the evening.
Hi, I'm Anisha and I'm the Chief Marketing Officer at Axis Bank. Today I'm looking to see how we can convert a good piece of technology into something very relevant for our customers and actually make an impact in their lives.
Hi, I'm Samar. I'm the General Manager for Hindustan Unilever Limited for the Southern region. What I'm looking forward to today are two things. First of all, some interesting and fresh insights from these students on the case for Axis Bank. And the second thing I'm looking for is how these students apply marketing concepts that they've learned back in their classroom to this real-life case.
Hi, I'm Anuradha, and what I like about Lime is that it gives us a chance to see so many sectors up close and how they use the marketing function. Today, Axis Bank is the company that's given us this case to grapple with, and what I'm looking for from the teams is who will give me maximum insights in the simplest possible manner.
So Team Lazarus, the all-girl gang, I hope you're ready. Your 3 minutes start now.
A very good evening to all of you. We'll start right from a presentation. So, on the basis of our analysis of the current market scenario, what was revealed was that there's a huge untapped potential, 5 times the user base of credit cards, and the public is moving away from non-paper payments. The regulatory authorities are trying to promote mobile banking in the country. Based on this market analysis, we have identified a marketing strategy for Axis Bank addressing the 3 dimensions of what services should be offered, who do we plan to offer them to, and how do we plan to promote these services to the target segments. Now, in terms of the services offered, we have the payment gateways that allow customers to make payments of their bills, taxes, and insurance premiums using their mobile phones, and also helps them track their investment portfolios. And secondly, we have instant small ticket transactions, which include P2P transactions and payment of door delivery services. Next, we've categorized the market into 4 basic segments. The immediate target segment is the tech-savvy modern youth who owns a smartphone, tweets regularly, and uses Facebook. He is the guy who'd prefer to pay the Domino's delivery boy and settle his Billmog accounts with just a tap on his touch phone. The marketing channel that will best suit him is the viral media. Next, we look at the busy middle-aged man who has bills and insurance premiums to pay every month, and time and security are his major concerns. Sell payment gateway to this segment through retail outlets, which is essentially the pull strategy, which will help him avoid frequent trips to the ATMs and the e-Seva centers. Next, we have the lower middle-class man, for whom every penny counts and is easily swayed by discounts. To him, we sell the payment gateway and the add-on service of train ticket booking, which is essentially the push strategy, using discounts and promotional offers. And lastly, we look at the rural segment, which is largest in terms of size. And a sample service offered is facilitating a migrant laborer in sending his income back home through mobile banking. Lastly, we say that Axis Bank already has an efficient bank image, and it should leverage on this image to gain the first mover advantage. And also it can start off operations in the urban youth segment and later on use their experience to expand into the rural segment. Thank you.
So you've looked at 4 different segments.
Right.
But what should Axis Bank do? Which segment should it go behind? And therefore, how will their decisions after that, come about?
The timeline we've thought about is like it's right now easiest to target the tech-savvy youth because they're already using mobile phones and internet banking. Probably they have credit cards, so it will be easiest for them to move over to this service. And then based on this, probably we can iron out the inefficiencies. Look at how test the waters, and then go into the middle-aged and the lower middle class segment, and then finally into the rural segment, which is probably the most challenging sector to look at.
Do you have a time frame in mind?
As in probably 2 to 3 years.
Okay, so then my question to you is that I don't think you guys have looked at the operational logistics of rolling out something like this. Because what we need to do at the back end for the youth, tech-savvy youth, and getting them to pay for this Domino's bill is very different from what is required to get the rural immigrant to send money back to his home, is very different from getting the middle-aged busy man to pay his bills. And everything comes at a cost.
We thought first, like after you have figured out what are the whole end-to-end encryption and all those issues, then you can actually, in the meanwhile, be in talks with the collaborators. And
I'm not here to figure out anything. That was your job. You have to figure out things for us and give us a solution. Don't say after you figured out how to do things, because I came here to look for a solution.
By doing this, definitely we'll get interesting insights as to how people are reacting towards mobile banking as such. And based on that, then probably after a half year, we can actually enter the collaboration with bill payment services and insurance agents. And once that works out, when the lower middle class is also looking forward to having, actually using something like mobile banking, then probably after, like say 1 year from now, we can actually start targeting them through offers and advertisements and actually going aggressively into marketing.
Just some clarifications here, for the benefit of the audience as well as for you. Mobile banking and internet money transfer are slightly 2 different things. IMT is a very specific technology which allows people to transfer money from one person to the other, that's all, through the mobile phone. And it has some intermediate infrastructure which it requires, like it requires an ATM, it requires a bank, it requires a business correspondent, so it's a little unique in its ways. But I feel that you are broad brushing it into mobile banking, which is not the case.
Ma'am, what we actually realized that we'll include the IMT service in our mobile banking. So mobile banking is the umbrella which includes all the services, and we'll include IMT into that.
What is there in the landscape today that it needs to compete with, given that it's a new service?
Credit cards, obviously, which are used for payments, probably not small ticket payments, but in restaurants and stuff. And internet banking, we believe that internet banking is probably the biggest competitor, because especially in the urban areas where internet penetration is pretty good, and obviously direct cash transfers.
What is going to be the role in life of this product? How is it going to change somebody's life? And how will it change life other than what mobile banking has already done?
We feel primarily the simplicity of the product itself. Like, we don't need anything. It's just like SMSing your friend and the payment is done. So it's like as simple as it can get. And I think that is the core value of this product itself.
Please read the first part of the case. You have to go and initiate a transfer either at the ATM or at the bank or through internet banking. The transfer is not initiated by sending an SMS.
Thank you.
Thank you, Team Lazarus. Thank you, judges. Don't forget to tune in to limeonline.in to catch all the action from every campus.
Since we looked at, we explained only marketing in depth, it might have come across that we did not understand the product well. Probably if given another chance, then we would like to stress more on that fact during the interaction which happened.
How will Team POD tackle this issue? We'll find out in just a bit.
We believe that Manisha Gupta, who is part of the Axis Bank jury team, she will be a bit more sensitive to the case and probably understand the nuances which we have handled with more alacrity than the rest of the jury members.
So Team Lazarus has just presented their take on the Axis Bank challenge. We have Team POD with us. I hope you guys are ready. Your 3 minutes start now.
In order to create a sustainable value proposition for our product, we basically created it based on 3 principles. First, the product must be secure, because in order to meet regulatory constraints and to convert it to a source of competitive advantage. Second, it should be fast, because you have a variety of target segments, all of whom who choose to use this product for different reasons. 3, it should be easy, because you should position it in a way that other competition cannot take over this particular product that we have. Based on this, we did an analysis of this product based on various payment mechanisms on a variety of parameters, and we see that IMT performs favorably. The various points of differentiation that this particular product has is that it's easy to use both for the sender and the receiver. It is basically the first service to offer an account to a person transfer, and we also proposed UID as a means of know your customer in order to offset any regulatory mechanisms. So we broke it up into 4 target customers. Remittance customers who prefer to use this product in order to transfer money, they primarily look at low cost. Convenience customers who prefer money at the fingertips for emergency purposes. For small traders, we position the product in terms of Hath Ka Hath Paisa for shorter transaction cycles and to promote impulse buying. And finally, convenience customers, we look at in terms of promotions for prices, cashback offers, etc. We also came up with several distribution channels. The sales and distribution network, apart from the Axis Bank network, we came up with business correspondents who basically include Kirana stores, PCOs, etc. We also developed marketing communication for each one of these 4 segments. They include reach, low cost, convenience, safety, and user-friendly. We came up with a pricing strategy. We came up with a set of floor price and a cap price. We came up with basically means in which for bulk customers we offer a certain set of discounts. And we also had extra charges for value-added services. Based on all of this, our revenue mix is primarily from 3 sources. First, transaction fees, interest income generated, and advertising income. We estimated the size of the market and the adoption curve, and we came up with the fact that based on an analysis of the Axis Bank balance sheet, this particular project is financially viable. To quickly summarize, our product has 3 things. It's secure, it's fast, and it's easy. It is able to penetrate the market on a wide range of segments, both in terms of breadth as well as depth. And finally, it is financially viable. That concludes our analysis of this case, and now we are open to questions.
Okay. So tell me, you've talked about a lot of positives and benefits out here, but what is the differentiating factor for this service?
The differentiating factor for IMT for Axis Bank is that it's one of its kind, person to person, as well as we are including the element of financial inclusion. So the customers that we have in mind also include the unbanked customers who are not yet covered by the formal institutions. So this is a great way to connect them to the formal institutions, which is being encouraged by the central bank as well as all the banks in our country. And more than just remittance and unbanked sector, we are also looking at convenience customers. For them, like somebody losing a wallet at home and he doesn't know how to get money at his fingertips. Convenience is a big winner for such kind of a service which we want to tap onto.
So how would you position this given these points of difference?
So we came up with a positioning strategy based on the 4 segments that we have. And we believe that each of these segments, based on the analysis, requires something different from this particular product. So a remittance customer, for him, it's very important that it is extremely low cost. So positioning should be done that it is low cost and it is a time-bound money transfer. Yeah. For convenience customers, they require money at their fingertips. The fact that at an emergency, if I need money immediately, I can go to an ATM and withdraw it. For small traders, they primarily look at the fact that in case a customer wants to do an impulse buy and does not have the money to do so, he can use this particular service. So the positioning actually we came up with was Haath Ka Haath Paisa. And finally, corporate customers, we can use this for any kind of promotions, schemes, cashback prices. The positioning for them is instant gratification.
Do you think the pricing, which is about 4%, so 200 rupees on 5,000 rupees, which I transfer, do you think that's appropriate for the rural consumers?
The alternative that we consider is money orders. Money orders, there is 1 rupee for every 20 rupees. That amounts to like 5% transaction cost. Even Western Union has a 5% transaction fee. So basically we would be pricing under them, and the fact that we have a cap and floor price. So if you are transferring large amount of money, say 5,000 rupees, you only pay 100 rupees. That is like 2% transaction fee, which is equivalent to, say for example, a check or a DD along with the postal charges.
The focus group discussion, the people you spoke to, what's the general sense in terms of their attitude towards using the mobile phone to transact money?
I can tell you this, that I spoke to some people who are laborers over here, and on an average they tell me that they'd send back amounts of 3,000 rupees back at the end of every month. And the predominant costs when they are working in a campus like this with accommodation already given to them lies in two things. One, food, and second, in mobile charges. So they use this to call people back, and that is where predominantly they spend money. All of them have mobile phones. Most of them are familiar with SMSs. So the reason they don't use SMS is because they think that the people at home may not understand how to use SMS. But if it's just a number that you have to send back, like a transaction pin based on the model that we have, I think I'm optimistic.
So there was no mental block that you
There
feel that they'll need to overcome?
Absolutely no mental block.
And what about the other end of the spectrum?
The other end of the spectrum, I was told that if it is just a simple number, it's easy. But if it is something like you have to send an entire text explaining the entire process or communicating something, it might be difficult for people from the previous generation.
But you didn't really meet consumers on the other end, right? You didn't go to
we
rural
just spoke to
Bihar
people.
and
No, we didn't do that.
Okay, so in a real life situation, that's really what you would have done, right? So if you were working with us, you would go to Bihar, interview some people, and I think that's where some of the other challenges will come to play, which is that I still need to go somewhere to get the money. And how far is that place, and who are you remitting to? If there's a construction worker here whose wife is living alone with her children, you know, and I spent a couple of days with a family in rural MP, and I asked the lady that how many times do you go out of the village, and she said I went thrice for my 3 deliveries.
Right.
So they don't even step out of the village.
So just to substantiate that fact that we have in our model a banking correspondent, which is a very important part of the product, because if we do not have that, we do not have the reach. So not even the customer would pay for that service if the banking correspondent is not present in his village. He will only use it if he knows that he can actually securely transfer money in a time-bound manner.
So I guess the challenge for us to set up banking correspondents in all villages of a certain cutoff.
And as we see going forward, all banks are recruiting banking correspondent models in a big time because RBI is also easing out the constraints. So that will be a success going forward.
Great, thank you.
Well fought, Team POD. Let's give the judges a couple of minutes to assess the results and help us decide which team clinches the challenge.
We seriously hope to believe that the judges liked our presentation because we put in our best efforts in it, and I think that appreciated it.
The packed audience didn't have to wait long, and the decision was made quickly and unanimously. The winner of the Axis Bank Challenge from IIM Bangalore is Team POD. Well fought. Congratulations. But well tried, Team Lazarus. Well tried. Let's actually go over to Manisha and try and understand what was the point of differentiation for Team POD.
I think you guys really got the case. You understood what the problem was, what the marketing challenge was. And I think whatever was reflected in their case was so clear because they had basic customer understanding. They knew what they wanted, they knew what they used, they knew what barriers there could be, and therefore, everything, pricing, the structure, everything was thought through. And I think you guys did a wonderful job in tackling the question.
It's a wrap-up here from the Bangalore edition of Lessons in Marketing Excellence Season 2. Remember, just log on to limeonline.in and you can catch all the action that's happening, not just in your campus, but also on the other campuses. We'll see you next week from a different campus. Thank you.
We feel ecstatic. We've been waiting for this moment for quite some time now. And now that we have won, we're looking forward to some good celebrations. Thanks a lot to CNBC and HUL for bringing Lime 2.0 to our campus and giving us this opportunity to participate.